I killed my sister. Not with a knife or a gun. Nothing so crude. So merciful.
No.
I slipped into her skin like a thief in the night, wore her face to the world, and whispered poisons into the ears of everyone she loved until her empire of lies crumbled from the inside out. And as her screams echoed in my mind, my real mind, the one buried under layers of stolen flesh, I felt the first true rush of freedom I'd known since the day they swapped us. But let's back up, because the real horror started long before the blood hit the water. It started with a graduation cap tossed in the trash and a spa day that wasn't mine. My name is Nevaeh. Yeah. Spell it backwards and it's heaven. Irony's a bitch. Isn't it? I grew up in Buckhead, that glossy slice of Atlanta where the peaches are always ripe and the secrets rot under azalea bushes. Money talks louder than God down here. And my family, we had fortunes that could buy absolution from the devil himself. Daddy was a real estate mogul, flipping mansions like they were poker chips. And Mama ran a boutique PR firm that polished reputations shinier than a fresh divorce settlement. They were the power couple everyone envied, the ones who'd host 4th of July barbecues with fireworks that lit up the whole damn skyline. But me? I was the afterthought. The oops baby who came after my sister. Isabella, Bella to the world. The golden child who could do no wrong. From the cradle, it was clear. Bella got the dimpled smiles and the trust funds, while I got the hand-me-downs and the try-harder lectures. By high school, she'd already interned at Daddy's firm. Charming clients with that Southern belle drawl that dripped honey and venom. I was grinding through AP classes at North Atlanta High, dreaming of Vanderbilt on a scholarship because, let's face it, my report card was my only ticket out. Graduation day hit like a freight train. June heat baking the football field, caps flying like confetti in a bad rom-com. I walked that stage summa cum laude, baby, heart pounding, scanning the bleachers for the one familiar face that mattered. Nothing. Just a sea of proud parents snapping pics on their iPhones. I texted Mama, "Where are you?" Crickets. Then Daddy, "Proud of you." Busy though. Busy. With what? I Ubered home alone, the leather seats sticking to my gown. And there it was, our driveway packed with Bella's cherry red BMW, fresh from the dealership. I found them in the kitchen, all three of them, laughing over mimosas. Mama in her silk robe, Daddy scrolling Zillow on his tablet, and Bella, Bella, perched on the island like a queen, her blonde waves perfect even at 10 a.m.
Oh.
Honey, Mama cooed when she saw me, but her eyes flicked back to Bella mid-sentence. We meant to make it, but traffic from the airport was a nightmare, and Bella's flight got in early. We surprised her with a girls' day at the Chateau Elon, facials, massages, the works. You know how she stresses over that Parsons interview. Stunned doesn't cover it. Betrayed?
Nah.
That's too soft. This was a gut punch, the kind that leaves you wheezing on the canvas. Bella shot me that pity smile, the one she'd perfected years ago, the poor thing that made you feel like the family mutt. Next time, Neve, she said, clinking her flute against Daddy's. We'll do something special. Promise. Next time. As if there'd be a next time after this. I mumbled excuses, bolted to my room, and slammed the door so hard the vanity mirror rattled. That's when I saw it, the email confirmation on my laptop, forwarded from the family account. Spa reservations for 3.
Mama.
Daddy. And Isabella Grace Harrington.
No Nevaeh.
Just erased. like I'd never existed. I didn't cry. Not then. I sat there in the dark, the AC humming like a funeral dirge, and let the rage simmer. It wasn't just the graduation, it was every birthday cake cut without me, every parent-teacher conference where they praised her A's and ignored my straight ones, every Christmas where her Tiffany's box dwarfed my Gap gift card. But this was the line. The betrayal that cracked the facade wide open. Little did I know, it was just the appetizer. The real feast of horrors was buried deeper, in a secret so foul it had been choking me my whole life. And to uncover it, I'd have to become the monster they made me. That night, I couldn't sleep. The house was too quiet after they left, tires crunching gravel as the BMW peeled out for the hills. I paced my room, the Persian rug muffling my footsteps, and pulled out the old photo albums from the closet. Dust motes danced in the moonlight like ghosts at a hoedown. There I was, baby Nevaeh, chubby-cheeked and squinting at the camera in a frilly dress. Next page, toddler Bella, all ringlets and ribbons, daddy bouncing her on his knee. But flip further, and something nagged.
A gap.
Pictures from ages 3 to 5?
Missing.
Just blank black pages, like the binder had been censored. I'd noticed it before, chalked it up to lazy archiving.
But now,
with the spa light festering like an open wound, I dug deeper. Laptop open. Ancestry.com login. Our family tree. Meticulously mapped by Mama's genealogist side gig. Names, dates, all there. Except a discrepancy. My birth certificate scanned in Nevaeh Marie Harrington, born April 15th, 2003, at Northside Hospital. Bella's, Isabella Grace, March 22nd, 2001, same place. But the hospital records? I'd hacked into the alumni database last year for a bio project, nothing fancy. Just a VPN and some elbow grease. Pulled the admissions logs. 2 girls born that week to Harringtons?
no.
Only one. Isabella Grace. My hands shook as I cross-referenced. Social security numbers. School immunizations, little threads unraveling. By dawn, I'd pieced it. I wasn't Nevaeh. Or rather, I wasn't their Nevaeh. Some mix-up. Some hospital fuckery?
No. Deeper.
Emails I'd glimpsed once. Deleted in a panic. Mama's account. Password, Bella Bear 2001. Buried in a subfolder labeled Taxes Old. Correspondence with a lawyer. Asset transfer complete. New identity docs enclosed. Ensure no traces. They'd swapped us. Not bodies, God. If only but lives. Bella. The real Nevaeh?
No.
The dates.
Fuck.
I was the original Isabella. The golden child. Born first. Heir to the empire. But something happened, an accident, a crime, and they buried her.
Us.
And slotted in a ringer. A kid from the wrong side of town. Maybe. Groomed to be the spare.
But why?
And who was pulling the strings? The sun-crusted peach-tree battle. Gilding the magnolias outside my window. But I was ice-cold. Revenge wasn't just a word anymore. It was oxygen. And to breathe it, I'd need to get close, really close. Close enough to wear her skin. It started small. I volunteered for Bella's Welcome Home Gala, her Parsons callback. Schmoozing Atlanta's elite at the St. Regis. Family duty, I told Mama, who beamed like I'd finally stepped up. In truth, I was casing the joint, who she charmed, what skeletons she hid behind that megawatt smile. That's when I met him, Dr. Elias Crow, Daddy's old college buddy turned biotech wunderkind. CEO of Neuralink, that startup everyone whispered about, neural implants. Mind mapping for enhanced cognition. Creepy as hell, but loaded. And at the bar, 3 whiskeys deep, he let slip the forbidden fruit. Ever wonder what it'd be like to walk in someone else's shoes?
Never.
His eyes gleamed, pupils dilated like black holes. Not metaphorically. Literally. We've got prototypes, body autonomy transfer. Swap consciousness for a day. Test empathy therapies. Off books. Of course. FDA's a buzzkill. I laughed it off, southern politeness, but inside, eureka.
The tool.
The key to the cage. A week later, I cornered him at his midtown penthouse. Post-yoga glow masking my desperation. Show me, I said.
No pleasantries.
He did, a sleek helmet rig in his basement lab, wires snaking like veins, humming with illicit promise. Irreversible after 48 hours, he warned.
Smirking.
But hey, revenge is a dish best served in someone else's flesh. I signed the waiver in invisible ink. Strapped in. And as the world blurred to static, Bella's face, my face soon, filled the screen. For science, Crow murmured. Then nothing. Black. Rebirth. Waking up was violation. Soft sheets. Lavender diffuser. A vanity mirror reflecting her, blonde.
Blue-eyed. Perfect.
I flexed fingers that weren't mine. Touched lips that purred, darling, to Daddy's voicemails. My old body, Nevaeh's shell, lay across town in a rented Airbnb. Sedated and waiting. But I wasn't wasting time. Phase 1. Infiltrate. I slipped into her life, like a ghost in a machine. Breakfast with Mama, mimosas and gossip about poor Neve's little tantrum. I cooed sympathies. All while noting the safe code, she punched into the wine fridge, 47-22-01. Bella's birthday. Lunch with Daddy's execs. I charmed them with anecdotes I'd eavesdropped on for years. Sealing deals that made his eyes water with pride. You're on fire. Bells, he said, clapping her shoulder. Fire? Baby. This was inferno. But the real burn was digging. Her phone. Texts from a burner app. See initial. Meet tonight. Usual spot. Don't ghost again. See for Crow? No, something juicier. I tailed the lead to a dive bar in East Atlanta Village. Graffiti-tagged walls pulsing with trap beats. There he was, Connor Hale, her ex from Emory, now a mid-level fixer for Daddy's shady land deals. Rough around the edges. Tattoos creeping up his neck like kudzu. They argued in a booth, her voice from my throat, sharp as broken glass. You promised to handle it. That fire in Roswell? It was supposed to be clean. Fire. Roswell. The missing years. My pulse, her pulse, thudded. Connor snarled. Your old man's empire was crumbling. That warehouse? Insurance goldmine. But the kid, the witness? She saw too much.
Kid. Me.
5 years old. Playing hide-and-seek in the shadows while Bella, real Bella, torched the place for a payout. And they pinned it on the orphan they scooped up as cover.
Me.
The fall guy in pigtails. I slipped out before they spotted the wrong soul in her eyes. Back in her loft, I paced, the city lights mocking me through floor-to-ceiling glass. The secret wasn't just betrayal, it was murder. Arson cover-up. Lives lost in that blaze. And I'd borne the scars. Nightmares of smoke I thought were imaginary. The accident that left me with a limp until PT fixed it. They'd swapped my life for theirs. Buried the truth under layers of privilege. Now, it was payback time. Controversial? Hell yes. I'd torch their world from the inside. Decisions be damned. But first, a call to Crow. Extend the swap, I whispered into her phone. Make it permanent. His laugh was silk over razor wire. For a price. Darling. But oh, the show you'll give. Living as Bella was like drowning in champagne, bubbly on the surface. But the bubbles burned your lungs. Every mirror was a lie. Every compliment a knife twist. You look radiant, the barista at Octane would say, handing over my oat milk latte. Radiant. If only she knew the storm cloud puppeteering this porcelain doll. I adapted quick.
Though.
Muscle memory from years of observation, the sway in her hips when she entered a room, the lilt that turned y'all into a weapon. Atlanta ate it up. Doors flew open, invites to the Fox Theater galas, VIP at MJQ Concourse. Even a whisper from Tyler Perry's camp about a guest spot on one of his shows. But power? That's where the real high kicked in. Daddy's office became my playground. I dropped by with coffee black. 2 sugars. Just how he liked, and accidentally glimpsed the files on his desk. Harrington Holdings dirty laundry, kickbacks from the Beltline developers. Shell companies laundering spa money through offshore accounts.
Spa money.
The Chateau Elon trip?
Just the tip.
Mama's PR firm funneled bribes as wellness retreats, clients greased with mud masks and moral blinders. I started small. Leaked an anonymous tip to the AJC, nothing damning. Just a nudge about irregularities in the Roswell rebuild. Watched the stocks dip like a bad hair day. Daddy griped over steak at Bones. Some hacks stirring shit. But we'll weather it.
Bells.
Always do. Weather it?
Not this time.
I smiled, speared my fillet, and thought of that little girl, me, cowering in the smoke, lungs searing while they plotted her erasure. Bella's life had perks. Sure. Her closet? A walk-in Narnia of Chanel and Reformation. Heels that clicked authority on marble floors. But the isolation gnawed. Friends, acquaintances, really were vipers in Lululemon. Gossiping about Neve's latest meltdown, over Rose at the Select. I played along, dropping barbs that isolated her further. Oh, Neve's always been intense. Jealous type. Seeds planted. By week's end, her group chat buzzed with side eyes. Invites drying up like Georgia clay in July. The controversial calls came fast. First, Connor. I met him at their spot, a seedy motel off I-85, neon vacancy flickering like a guilty conscience. He thought he was getting Bella, all fire and familiarity. Instead, he got me cold.
Calculating.
Wearing her skin but wielding my fury. What happened to the witness, kid? I asked, tracing his tattoos with a nail file. He froze, beer halfway to his lips. Ancient history.
Babe.
Why dredge it? I leaned in. Her perfume, Chloe, cloying the air. Because history's got teeth.
Connor.
And it's biting back. He spilled then. Whiskey loose. The fire was no accident. Daddy's warehouse held evidence, falsified deeds, coke shipments from Miami contacts. Bella, barely legal, torched it on his orders. High on Adderall and daddy issues. The witness, me, a foster kid crashing with a distant aunt nearby, saw the match strike. They couldn't risk it. So, swap. Pluck me from the system. Rename me Nevaeh. Gaslight me into believing I was the spare. Insurance paid triple, he slurred. But the guilt eats at her. At us.
Guilt.
The word tasted like ash. I left him snoring. Planted a bug in his truck. Crow's Tech. Courtesy of our partnership. Phase 2 Mama. Her office in Midtown. All exposed brick and succulents. Hid a vault of secrets. I interned for a day, charming the assistants with Bella's charm offensive. Unlocked her desktop, folders labeled Legacy. Photos blurry. Timestamped 2008. A warehouse inferno. Flames licking the night sky. And there, in the corner, a small figure, pigtails singed, pointing at a shadowed teen with a gas can. Bella. My real face, twisted in panic. But the kicker? A scan of adoption papers. Not adoption, guardianship transfer. Rushed through family court. Signed by Elias Crow. Eskew. Back when he moonlighted as a lawyer. The villain in the wings. The puppet master with biotech billions and a grudge against Daddy from some frat house betrayal. He'd orchestrated the swap. Laundered the kid through his clinics. Even faked the medicals to match. For the family's greater good, the memo read. Greater good.
My ass.
Rage boiled over that night. I drove her BMW through the winding roads to Stone Mountain. Windows down. Wind whipping lies from my hair. Pulled over at a lookout. The city sprawled below like a glittering corpse. Dialed Crow on her burner. You knew, I hissed. All these years. You watched me rot in the shadows. His voice. Smooth as bourbon. Nevaeh, or should I say, Isabella? Knowledge is currency. Darling. And yours? It's about to make us rich. He wasn't done playing. Offered alliance. Exposed the Harringtons. Split the fallout profits. I agreed. Lied through her teeth. And hung up. Plotting my pivot. Controversial? Betraying the betrayer? Child's play. But using my old body as bait? That cross lines even I blurred. Back in her loft. I prepped. Sedatives in Nevaeh's, my old water supply. Via a care package delivered to the Airbnb. She'd wake groggy. Piecing fragments.
But by then,
too late. I staged the scene, her phone buzzing with Connor's texts. Crow's voicemails laced with innuendo. A trail leading straight to hell. The climax brewed at the family founders' ball, Daddy's annual shindig at the Georgia Aquarium. Whale sharks gliding overhead like omens. I arrived as Bella. Emerald gown hugging curves I'd envied. Diamonds from her trust fund winking at the flashbulbs. Mama air-kissed cheeks. You outdid yourself. Sweetheart. Daddy beamed. Arm around my waist, his waist, as we posed for the society pages. Connor lurked in the shadows, nursing a scotch, eyes hungry. Crow, at the high table, toasting with champagne flutes that hit his fangs. Halfway through the shrimp cocktail, the leaks hit. My anonymous drops to the feds, tipped via a dark web proxy, unleashed the hounds. Sirens wailed distant. But the real storm was digital. Twitter, X, whatever, exploding with Harrington fire. Grainy warehouse pics trending. AJC, live tweeting the raid. Phones buzzed like hornets. Daddy's face drained to putty. What the fuck is this? I feigned shock, her voice trembling just right.
Daddy, talk to me.
But inside, ecstasy. Mama clutched her pearls, whispering, it was an accident, self-defense. The wiring. Lies crumbling like stale cornbread. Then the twist of the knife. Connor stormed the floor, face thunderous, grabbing my arm.
You bitch.
You set me up, guests gasped. Phones out, capturing the meltdown. He spilled it all, arson. Swap. The foster kid scapegoat, right there under the beluga's glassy stare. She was 5, and you let her take the fall. The room spun. Mama fainted into a waiter's arms. Daddy lunged, fists flying, but security swarmed. And me, I slipped free, her heels clicking escape, heart hammering victory. But as the cuffs snapped on Connor, his eyes locked mine, her eyes, and he sneered, not her.
Man.
Imposter. Check the eyes, Nevaeh's got that scar. Not Belle's. Panic flickered. The swap, Crow's tech, left tells. A micro-tattoo from the rig. Invisible ink under UV.
But no time.
I melted into the crowd. Out the service exit. Into the humid night. Uber to the Airbnb, where my old body stirred, groggy eyes widening at the sight of herself. Neve, she croaked, voice mine raspy. Forgotten. But it wasn't Nevaeh. It was Bella. The real one, trapped in the shell they'd discarded. Her, my eyes bored into me, recognition dawning like a slow-motion car wreck. What the hell have you done? Bella rasped, scrambling up from the futon, her borrowed limbs flailing like a puppet with cut strings. The Airbnb reeked of stale takeout and betrayal. The single bulb swinging shadows across her face, my face, pale and pinched, the weight of years sloughing off like bad makeup. She looked smaller in my skin. The tomboy frame that had run track and hidden bruises now hunched in defeat. I stood there in her body, silk blouse untucked from the chaos.
Ta stink bile. Done?
I've undone. Bella. Unraveled the pretty little lie you all wove around me. My voice, her voice, crackled with Atlanta twang. But the words? Pure venom from the gut. She laughed, bitter and broken, clutching the bedsheet like a shield. You think this is new? The swap? Christ. Neve, Isabella, we were kids. Pawns. She spat the names like curses, pacing the cramped room, bare feet slapping linoleum. Daddy's deals went south that year. Cartel ties. Coke bricks hidden in the drywall. I lit the match, stupid, scared shitless.
You saw.
Tiny thing. Foster reject with eyes too big for your head. Crow. He had this clinic. Experimental shit for trauma patients. Reassign identities, he called it. Brainwashing light. They plucked you from the group home, rewired the memories, slotted me into the spare room. Said it was mercy. Mercy. The word hung, mocking. I sank onto the edge of the bed, her manicured nails digging crescents into palms that weren't mine. Mercy? I graduated valedictorian in your shadow, while you preened for Parsons. They skipped my big day for your spa trip. Mercy doesn't come with trust funds and facials. Her eyes, my eyes, flashed, the old fire sparking. You got the easy out. I carried the guilt, the nightmares. Every time I looked at you, it was a mirror to the monster I made. Mama dosed me with Xanax just to sleep.
Daddy,
He built walls, literal and figurative, to keep the truth buried. And Crow? He owned us. Blackmail vids, from the clinic. Leverage for his biotech slush fund. The pieces slotted. Ugly and jagged. Crow. The spider in the web. Not just enabler but architect. His prototypes weren't new. They were evolutions of the tech that birthed our fractured lives. Body swaps for empathy? Bullshit. It was control. Identity as commodity. And I just handed him the match to light the Harringtons ablaze, thinking it was justice. Sirens wailed closer now, red-blues strobing through the blinds. The ball had imploded. News choppers thumped overhead, feeding the frenzy. My phone, her phone, vibrated. Mama's text. Where are you? Police everywhere. Connor's talking.
God. Bells. Come home.
Home. What a joke. Bella, trap Nevea, grabbed my wrist, her grip surprisingly strong in my wiry frame. We end this. Together. Call Crow off. He's got contingencies, fail-safes in our heads. Neural bombs. One wrong move.
And poof.
Lights out. Controversial decision number 3. Trust the enemy. The sister who'd stolen my life. Or the shell I'd worn to reclaim it. I yanked free, storming to the window. Below, cop cars swarmed the complex. But not for us, not yet. Why should I? You got the glory. I got the scraps. She deflated, sliding down the wall, knees to chest. Because I'm you, idiot. The real you, the one who lit the fire. And this. She gestured to her, my body. This is hell. Weak. Overlooked. I hated it. But wearing it now, it's karma's kiss. Tears tracked her cheeks, smudging the cheap mascara I'd slathered on that morning. Vulnerability cracked her facade, and for a heartbeat, I saw the girl, scared teen with a Zippo, flames reflecting daddy's desperation. Pity stirred. Unwanted.
But revenge?
It was a drug, and I was hooked. Karma's got teeth, I echoed Connor's slur. And it's chewing. I dialed Crow. Speaker on. Her voice steady as steel. Game's up.
Elias.
Feds have the files. Your cut's dust. His chuckle slithered through the line, oily and amused.
Oh. Isabella.
Always the dramatic one. But check your veins.
Love.
That rig we used? Tritium isotope. GPS in your blood. I've been tracking since minute 1. A pause. Then, and your sister's real sister's bomb?
Armed.
One call from me. And Nevea's skull lights up like the 4th.
Bella gasped.
Scrambling for the phone. Liar. You said it was dormant. Contingencies. My dear.
Now.
Proposal. Meet at the clinic. Midnight. Bring the bodies. We reverse the swap, clean slate, or I fry the circuits. Your choice.
Click. Dead air.
The room tilted, reality fracturing like safety glass. Controversial? Arming the enemy with both halves of the truth? But what choice? Let her die in my skin. Or face the devil who'd birthed our nightmare. We moved like thieves in the night, her in my hoodie and jeans. Me in her trench coat. Hood up against the drizzle-slicking peach tree. Uber to Lindbergh. Then Marta to the edge of town. The clinic looming indicator, like a glass tomb. Neuralink's facade. All sleek lines and bioluminescent logos. Security was laughable. Crow's arrogance. assuming his tech god complex scared off intruders. We slipped through a service door, badge cloned from Bella's key fob. Inside, sterile halls echoed our whispers. East Wing. Sublevel, she hissed, navigating from half-remembered tours. Alarms hooped distant, cops closing on the Harrington estate. No doubt. We found the lab, rigs humming, monitors flickering with brainwave spaghetti. And Crow, perched on a stool like a vulture in a lab coat, scalpel glinting in the blue glow. Ladies, he drawled, that ivy drawl masking Midwestern grit. Or should I say, echoes, touching reunion. Bella lunged, my body, all fury no finesse, but he zapped her with a taser wand, dropping her twitching. Predictable. He turned to me, eyes raking her form I wore. You, though, masterful. The leaks. The framing bravo. Almost wish I'd recruited you proper. Save the TED Talk. I snarled. Circling. Heels silent on tile. Reverse it.
Now.
He'd sked, tapping a tablet. Schematics bloomed. Our brains mapped. Red lines pulsing like veins. Reversal? Possible.
But why?
This tech's gold. Swappable lives for the elite. Execs in fresh bodies. Celebs dodging age. Your family's just the beta test.
Beta.
The word ignited. You experimented on kids. For profit. Progress demands sacrifice. He shrugged. Casual as ordering foe. The fire? Collateral. The swap? Innovation. And now, with the Harringtons crumbling, I inherit the empire. Daddy's deals? Mine. Unless. The unless hung. Baited hook. You want a cut? Name it. His smile was a scalpel's edge.
Permanence.
You stay as Bella. She, nod to the writhing form on the floor, stays as Nevaeh. Loyal lieutenants in my new order. Refuse, and I trigger the bomb. Brains to mush. Choice clanged like chains. Stay the villain. Rule the ruins? Or die authentic?
Bella Grande.
Rolling over. Eyes pleading. Don't. He's bluffing. We fight. But Crow tapped the screen. A whine built. My head throbbing. Visions flashing, flames. Screams. A child's hand in mine? False memory or truth? Pain lanced. Knees buckling. I straightened. Decision crystallizing, controversial. Cataclysmic. Do it, I whispered.
Permanence. His glee was grotesque.
Straps cinched. Helmets descended. Static roared. World dissolving. But as consciousness frayed, Bella's voice pierced. Wait, the truth. I didn't light it.
He did.
Crow. Pushed me. To test the rig on you. Liar? Revelation? Blackness swallowed doubt. Rebirth was agony. Needles in the soul. Ripping threads of self. I came to strap to the rig. Monitors beeping frantic. The lab a blur of white coats and warning lights. No, wait. Straps?
No. Free.
Body familiar yet foreign. Calluses on palms from weekend yard work. A faint scar on the knee from soccer tryouts gone wrong. My body. Nevaeh's shell. But mine. I flexed toes. Realigned ribs. Breathed air that tasted like home. Across the room, Bella, back in her porcelain prison, stirred. Blonde lashes fluttering. A Crow loomed over her. Tablet in hand, but his face? Crumpled triumph. sweat beading like guilt. Beautiful, he murmured, but his eyes darted, nervous.
Cornered.
She'd lied. Or told truth. The wine in my skull faded, but echoes lingered, not her hand with the match, but his Crow's, shoving the lighter into teen palms, whispering, "For science. For us." The fire wasn't arson for insurance, it was erasure. Test run for the swap tech.
Me.
The orphan witness. Perfect lab rat. No family to miss. Memories malleable. They'd framed Bella to bind her silence. Swapped us to prototype permanence. And the Harringtons? Willing accomplices. Trading their firstborn soul for Crow's investments. Biotech shares that ballooned their portfolio. The reversal hadn't just swapped bodies, it unlocked vaults. Flashes, suppressed files, neural dumps from the rig. I saw it all, Mama's tears in the clinic waiting room. Daddy's handshake with Crow sealing the deal. One life for the future, he'd said. Future.
Theirs.
Bella's eyes snapped open, locking mine. Neve, she mouthed. No sound, throat raw from the taste. But the plea? Clear, run. Crow turned, spotting me awake.
Ah.
The spare lives. How quaint.
Now.
If you'll excuse. I didn't excuse. I lunged. No plan. Just primal. Grabbed a crash cart. Wheeled it like a battering ram. He sidestepped, lithe as a snake. But the tablet flew, clattering under consoles. Screen cracking. Alarms shrieked. Red lights pulsing like heart failure. You ungrateful. Truth serum's a bitch.
Huh.
I growled, tackling low. We grappled. His lab coat ripping. My fists, real fists, finding purchase in his gut. He wheezed, countering with the elbow to my jaw. Stars bursting. But Bella, unstrapped now, scrambled, grabbing the scalpel from the tray. Enough, she slashed, not at him, at the rig's power cord. Sparks flew, consoles dying in cascades of smoke. Crow roared, lunging for her, but I tripped him ankle-hooked. Down he went, forehead cracking tile with a wet thunk.
Still.
He rose, blood sheening his brow, eyes wild. You don't get it. This ends with me on top. Or all of you in the ground. The door burst SWAT. Vests bulky.
Guns drawn.
Hands up. Elias Crow. You're under, but he bolted,
Soldatshetking
vanishing into service corridors. Gunfire cracked, warning shots, echoing like thunder in a tin can. Cops swarmed, cuffing us for questioning. Bella and I, side by side in zip ties. Her in silk tatters. Me in borrowed scrubs. Mama and Daddy arrived at dawn, bailed out by lawyers whose retainers could buy small nations. The drive home? Silent funeral procession. Rain lashing the Escalade's tinted glass. At the mansion, truths spilled like overproof moonshine. Mama confessed first, rosary beads twisting in her lapel. We thought it was saving you both. A crow said the tech would heal, the guilt, the trauma. But it trapped us all. Daddy paced, scotch sloshing, admitting the shares, Neuralink stock, now tanking with the raids. I was weak. Empire over family, Bella sister, monster, mirror curled on the couch, mascara rivers. I pushed back. Try to tell you.
Never.
That spa day?
Distraction.
To get you out before the leaks hit. But Crow. He rigged the call. Made it look like betrayal. Twist reversed. Not her hand on the match, but his puppetry. We'd been swapped not once, but looped, lives traded in a cycle of control. The graduation skip?
Mama's ploy.
Yes, but to shield me from Connor's tale. His threats to expose if she didn't play along. Controversial decisions? Mine, trusting the swap, allying with shadows, had accelerated the fall, but cracked the cage. Cops hauled Crow by noon. Neural bombs defused in a FBI sweep. Trials loomed. Arson. Kidnapping. Identity fraud. Headlines screamed, Harrington Air swap scandal rocks ATL elite. Debates raged. X-threads dissecting privilege. Ethics of tech. Nature versus nurture. Was I victim or vigilante? Savior or saboteur? Ending? No tidy bow. Daddy's firm folded. Assets seized. We sold the McMansion for pennies. Relocated to a modest ranch in Roswell. Irony's encore. Mama found God for real. Volunteering at foster homes.
Bella?
Enrolled in community college.
Studying psych.
Atoning ink on her arms. Dates of the fire. Names of the lost.
Me?
Nevaeh, Isabella reborn. Vanderbilt deferred a year. But I walked campus that fall. Caps straight. Parents in the stands flawed.
But there.
Revenge? It tasted bittersweet. Like pecan pie with a worm. Freedom came. But scarred. Worth it? Ask the mirror. She just smiles back. Whole at last. And Crow? Life without parole. But his tech? Bootlegs flood the dark web. Swaps for sale to the highest bidder. So yeah, the truth left me speechless. But the questions? They echo still. Who are we, if not the skins we shed? And how far would you go to claim your heaven?